Hey everybody, it's Dark Trennow here, back with another episode of the Toradora Discord podcast. Hosting with me today is the legendary CP Man V2.
This legendary, notorious, infamous, whatever you want to call
it. And then joining both of us today is Shin.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh man, more like joining Shin and I for breakfast this morning is Dark Trennow.
Oh yeah, for real.
Yes. First, let me congratulate you guys for the successful launch on your Shin and CP Man in the Morning podcast. I listened to it. I loved it. I thought it was entertaining. I loved the diner setting. That was great, and the Minori joke was fantastic at the beginning.
Oh, great. Well, that makes one of us.
Oh.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Dark Trennow, you wonderful, wonderful human being. You beautiful bastion of humanity.
Tell me, do our listeners have are their hopes real? Is there gonna be more episodes of Shin and CP Man in the Morning that we can expect from you guys in the future?
I mean, I'm at that diner basically every day of my life, so if he ever shows up,
it all depends on me actually deciding to go out and pay somebody else to make my breakfast instead of making some wholesome breakfast at home. So,
well, take that what you will, our dear listeners. If I were you guys, I'd be very excited for the future. But it's been a really eventful month, guys. Like, really eventful.
Of course. Mm-hmm. December always is.
Absolutely.
December 6th, we had the Game Awards.
What?
Did either of y'all watch it?
I did.
I watched some of it.
Well, yeah, I watched the last half of it, and then I looked up all the rest of the results online to catch up with the first half. So basically, I did.
I was flipping between that and didn't know this until the night of the Game Awards because I was watching on YouTube and it was screwing up so much that I switched over to Twitch and it was a lot better. But apparently, Twitch airs Thursday night football games. So quite often during the Video Game Awards on Twitch's main screen, I was switching over to Thursday night football because I was like, wow, I can't believe this is here.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
But I saw a decent amount.
Like NFL football?
Yeah.
Huh.
I was switching over. Say it's Madden or whatever. Remember?
Yeah, right. It's actually, I think it's just because Amazon has like the streaming rights for Thursday night football. So obviously Amazon owns Twitch and Prime and all that. So
of course
they just stick it on there. Oh, Shin loves Amazon.
They get their grubby little fucking fingers and everything, huh?
Of course.
That's okay. Communist Shin won't come out because he never goes away.
Oh, But yeah, that's not all this month, especially video game related, Dark.
Oh no, we had Smash Brothers as well, which we'll get to. That'll probably be like the meat of this episode. But with the Game Awards, okay, so just a few questions on that one.
Wait a second, Dark. Dark,
Yes.
I don't mean to cut you off with the Video Game Awards, but you know what? I'm just realizing something right now that I think might be a more important thing to start with.
Oh, damn.
Okay. We are the Toradora Discord server podcast, and this month marked the beginning of a Toradora rewatch.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it did.
/anime.
Should have probably known about that, considering I'm running it and all. Oops.
Yeah, it's I feel like that's something we should probably address real quick and talk about, because what are we? We're 10 episodes in now, right, as of this recording?
Absolutely. Today was the 10th episode, so if any of our wonderful, amazing, beautiful listeners aren't participating, it still isn't too late. You just gotta watch 10, and then you can join us to watch an episode a day, every day, until, I don't know when, but after Christmas. And it's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. I'm watching it dubbed for the first time, and I've actually been enjoying it.
I know. I'm glad. I really am happy.
Got a solid dub.
I'm telling you, I mean, not everyone will agree with me that it's superior, but I really do think everyone should give it a chance.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it superior just yet, but to be fair, I also watched, 25 episodes subbed, and I've only watched 10 dubs so far, so I need to watch the whole thing, but I think it's holding its own pretty well.
They definitely do a good job with it. I completely agree, and I'm glad you're watching it and enjoying it.
Yeah. It's good stuff. How about you two? Have you guys been enjoying the rewatch thus far?
I personally haven't been rewatching it.
I knew you weren't. I knew you weren't. I just wanted to be nice, and I was hoping you were going to lie to everybody so they could see that our esteemed ruler, Dark Trennow, was loving Toradora, but I set you up and you failed me.
I'm shaking my head. I hope you understand that I'm shaking my head and giving your little avatar on Discord the evilest eye.
Well, let me say this. I love the energy it has brought to our server because our Christmas Club channel is actually open again. We only opened that in December, of course, for the rewatch. It is full every day. People are always talking in there, having a great time. It's a big time for us because we have so many people who have been active on the Reddit side of things that are now coming into our server because the folks on Reddit have been able to send them our way, which we're grateful for. And then, it's one of those things where it's like we get a lot of people coming in here that now we're getting to know more people and getting to, bring them into our fantastic community, and they are contributing positively. It's great. It's great. And, like in January, we'll hopefully still have as many of those people as we can. Just because, some people will join servers, be real active for like 2 weeks, then, dropping for whatever.
Yeah, that's
just
certainly
the
a thing.
nature of Discord.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's definitely been good for both the server and the subreddit. And even if we get just like 1 or 2 new people in the loop that like are fans of the show and realize that we're here, it's great. Just to have more people in the community.
Growth is nice, no matter how small or large it is. So.
Absolutely.
Well, and when you think about it, we've grown a lot in terms of like pairs at a time. Like Biston and Umi, both of whom I love, have shown up right around the same time as each other. Me and V2 showed up right around the same time as each other.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because we were like I think within a week or something of each other.
That's true. Joe and Hip were around the same time. Well, that's going further back.
Oh gosh, that's years ago. That's
Yeah.
ancient history. You got any more cave paintings you can describe for us, old man?
Yeah, how about some freaking old tales and ancient melodies? Come on.
I mean, honestly, most of ye old early days of the server were about the same as now. Hip complimenting all of us saying thank you. It was a little more porny. 'Cause
Joe
we didn't go to
calling
the
people
hentai
lewd.
channel yet, and Fane and MNG
Oh
were loving that. But
boy.
oh yeah, it's a little less PG than it is today, but basically the same, just smaller.
Yeah, I mean, well, the past before, they say BC for like the old times, and then AD. Well, there's BV2 before V2, and all that history of the server has been retconned, so it doesn't matter.
Oh my!
Only modern day server shenanigans matter since April of 2018 when I showed up.
I mean, hey, that's fine with me.
There you go. But anyway, yeah, so the Toradora rewatch has been going on. It's great. We're 10 episodes in thus far.
Yep.
If you have yet to join, please join. And shame Dark Trennow in the comments down below for not rewatching.
Yes, yeah, give him absolute trash. He's garbage.
God. And to think, this is your moderator, Shin. I can't believe this.
Oh. I didn't pick him. That was Wish's
man.
choice. Believe me.
Oh. But anyway, yes, the video game awards. Now that we've given people the needed Toradora that they were promised,
Absolutely.
let's give them the video games.
Yeah, we got our 7 minutes in of actual Toradora talk. Let's go.
We have to always cram some in there on our Toradora podcast for our Toradora Discord. It's always got to find its way somehow, even if it is only comparative at times.
Yep. It works.
But so, just the headlines here. League of Legends won like best esports game again.
Oh, I'm stunned.
Yeah,
what, you mean
what a
Fortnite didn't win?
surprise.
Wow.
Here's the thing. League of Legends, I used to play a ton of it. It's a shadow of its former self. But I will say this. It is the most well-established esports game out there, and they have the most money going into it.
I was gonna
Overwatch is really good too, but more importantly, thank God something beat Fortnite, because I would have hated to see Fortnite get any awards.
Oh, I like Fortnite. They put a lot of good work into it.
Oh yeah, come on. I never forget that I've only ever played one round of Fortnite in my life, and I played for like 6 minutes on my Nintendo Switch after it came out, and I got killed by the weather, and I deleted it. I've never played it again.
Sad. They actually just recently released the new mode that's pretty cool that I want to check out. It basically just like drops you and some friends on the island, and it's just like crafting art mode, so you can build these giant ass bases, make like a custom map and stuff, and then kill each other on it.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Killing each other. I like it.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the best part of the game. Is all the death.
Yeah, there you go. So League does it though. That makes sense. It makes a lot of sense that they would win that award. So.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's kind of the common sense choice. I mean, maybe if it
come
was
on, hey, they have that
Smash.
commercial. They have that commercial
Yeah.
with anime music in it. The one with "You Say Run" from My Hero. So of course they were going to win.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
reaching out to the weebs.
The only real competition they would have had is if like Smash had come out maybe 3 months sooner. That might have gotten something just because it's so hot in the heels of like the competitive scene. But no, I mean League kind of still dominates, even if it isn't maybe necessarily what it once was.
Fucking Smash, man. And by the way, speaking of the video game awards, that whole night they would show commercials and trailers and stuff. Those commercials they did for Smash were great, where they're like, Smash coming probably in a couple hours or something. It was great.
Although with Smash at the Game Awards too, that like Persona trailer at the end, I reverted back to like a 12-year-old. I was in voice chat with my friends. We were all, I know this is gonna sound like a thing that didn't happen, but I promise, like we were fucking screaming. I was just, I lost it. That was one of the most exciting moments I think I've seen at any year's awards.
Wow. I'm glad that
It
excited
was
you so much.
really unexpected.
Yes.
Like, I did not see Joker, of all people, coming to Smash Bros.
As someone that, was never played, watched, or done anything, Shin Megami Tensei fucking worth at all, like, I didn't care too much, but it began to like resonate with me just how many people were gonna care.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's pretty wild when it's something that you don't care about, but then you begin to feel even then, wow, this is important because there's so many people that do.
dude, definitely. I mean, God, Persona's one of like the foundational kind of fundamental RPGs. Like I was just raised on it, It's just
Yeah, I don't have any experience with the Persona or Shin Megami Tensei games, but I am like I objectively looking at it, I'm kind of like, that's a huge deal they got him in Smash Brothers.
Absolutely.
Like, that's a really big deal, and that's going to be something that Ultimate, as we'll talk about soon, is already a legendary game. Like, already.
Yep.
Adding Joker onto that was just like putting extra icing on the icing.
no, it's like the biggest. Like if that had leaked, I would have laughed at the leaker and said these people are morons. Who would believe that they would got him for the game? It was just such a surprise.
I mean, hey, it was pretty interesting. Like I said, it's very interesting to see the wide, insane reaction from people.
Now, Game of the Year actually went to God of War. Shin, I know you're a big PS4 guy.
Yep.
How do you feel about that one?
I thought that was an incredibly pleasant surprise because honestly, I had kind of written the category off thinking it was going to go to Red Dead, which, while Red Dead is a good game, I do not think it deserves Game of the Year for a few reasons. But to see it go to God of War, which was just such a fucking beautiful reimagining of that franchise, I think it won it easily, like without a doubt in my mind. And I'm very happy that they agreed and it didn't just go to the, not saying God of War is obscure, but like that it didn't just go to the Rockstar game as it kind of tends to.
Speaking of Red Dead, that thing just kept picking up awards.
Oh
Yeah.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. Red Dead took some awards it should not have that night, but I'm just glad that one of those wasn't Game of the Year.
Yeah, I didn't think it. Honestly, I thought God of War was the best out of all of those.
Yeah, same. I mean, I didn't play Celeste, even though I really want to, but yeah, out of the other ones, which I played the rest of them, God of War was definitely the best by a significant margin.
My problem with indie games being up for Game of the Year is that, to me, they're just a little too limited in scope, and that's because they're made by independent developers, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, to me, Game of the Year should embody the absolute best video games can do as an industry. And so, to me, that's kind of like, this is the best of production in all ways. And when I look at it, I'm just kind of like, it's biased, yes. It's biased towards massive developers and whatnot, but it's because we are expecting them to produce the absolute peak, and only they have the resources to produce that absolute peak of gaming per year. But that's just my hot take.
I was going to say, I mean, if we're going strictly off, like, production value of a game, then yeah, that's the case. But I think just like with anime or any form of media or art, really, it's not necessarily about the budget, in my opinion at least, that makes like a game fantastic. For example, a game that I would say pretty confidently was the game of its year, and I think a lot would agree with me, is Stardew Valley, which is a game made by a single dude on a pretty shitty Dell computer. And like to this day, that game's community is freaking insane, and it's just such a beautiful kind of take on just the whole, I don't even know what to call it, like slice of life RPG kind of like Harvest Moon sort of genre. And like
Right.
I do agree, from what I've seen of Celeste, I don't see that it necessarily compares with God of War or even Red Dead, or I think Spider-Man was in that one too.
I don't know if Wishes would agree with you there, Shin.
Well, no,
I
I'm
don't
sure
know if Wishes
Celeste
agrees
is
with you.
amazing, but
Yeah, nothing against it or anything.
I'll put it this way: I'm sure that it deserves to be in that category, like not necessarily because it's an indie game, but if it really does have that kind of impact on people that they claim, then I think it deserves to be there.
Man, you know, I watched the entirety of it, I didn't watch the entirety of the Video Game Awards, but I watched a good amount of it, and, like, anytime Celeste get brought up, I don't think once I saw footage of it, and I have no idea what that game looks like, or anything. I don't think at any time that I was watching did I ever see footage of it, even when it was getting talked about. I have no idea what the game looks like, or how it plays, or anything.
Well, that's part of where I do get almost a little hesitant about my belief of it being in there. And sorry, I'm kind of dominating the conversation. I always have a lot to think about the Video Game Awards. But, for reference, Celeste is like kind of, one of those real pixelized, kind of super stylized indie games.
It's the kind of game that really, over time, no matter what, it just doesn't seem like it'll ever go away, I say.
Yeah, no, that type of style is always going to be there because it looks aesthetically nice and it's cheap
Is it like a platformer of some kind?
From what I've seen, yes. It seems like
Of
another
course
one
it
of the
is.
Metroidvania style.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yep.
Which, I don't know, that's the thing. From what I've seen...
That's what I thought.
That's
what I thought.
Even of those, it didn't seem like, in my opinion, from what I saw, the best of those to come out this year. Just because Hollow Knight exists, which is fucking amazing. But, I don't know. I want to play it. It looks beautiful. And, a lot of people agree that it is. So, I think that's the end of my ramble.
I have a small correction to make.
Uh-huh.
I said League One Best Esports. Just double checking on their website, it was actually Overwatch. That was my mistake. I
really?
apologize. Yeah, I thought League won an award for something at the night. I thought it was esports, but I could be wrong about that. I might be misremembering. But on their website, it shows that Overwatch was the winner.
That's kind of surprising. A lot happened in Overwatch, but the community, I was under the impression, was kind of dwindling this year a little bit.
I think people exaggerate it because I've heard exactly the same stuff you have, where it's kind of like, oh, everyone's left Overwatch in droves because Blizzard's been so inattentive, and when they do change things, they're hated by everybody, sort of deal. I don't know how true that actually is. When I played League of Legends for years, I heard the same thing all the time, and I could never tell that in game.
I gotcha.
No.
Yeah. There you go. See, so. We talked here about indie games and their place in the Game of the Year category and whatnot, as we just we're discussing Celeste. Mm-hmm. Was there any other interesting like maybe they shouldn't have been nominated, maybe they should have type of awards for you guys with some of the games at the Video Game Awards? Maybe some games that won that really should not have. Outside of, the Red Dead Redemption, we don't need to beat a dead horse. But,
Well, let me think then.
Sorry. We don't need to feed a fed horse. I'm sorry, PETA. Please don't copyright strike us or something with hate speech.
Oh, they will.
So Fortnite won Best Ongoing Game.
That's exactly what
I was
going to say.
And I have a problem with Fortnite winning awards, period, because it's still technically in beta.
Oh, it is?
And I know that's very technical, but to me, when you are putting a product out there and you're like, oh, well, by the way, we treat this in every way possible like it's a full game, except we're going to always say it's in beta, I think that's a little cheap, and they do that out of convenience for updating. They just do not want to go the normal pipeline route with publishers, or not publishers, but console manufacturers like Sony and Nintendo. Because it's easier for them to update the game because it's technically under beta. And to me, I'm kind of like, pick one. Is it a beta or is it an established game?
But it's easy to forget that the main Fortnite game is a released game. Like Fortnite itself, that single-player experience that costs like $40.
Oh, Save the World?
Oh, did they? I forgot. Yeah, they renamed it. Yeah. That used to just be Fortnite. It's just only the free battle royale thing that they call like a quote unquote beta. And I agree. I actually didn't know it still was. It is kind of stupid at this point, but I think when it wins awards for stuff like best ongoing game, and for reference, I disagree. It should not have won that in my opinion. But I think it's in reference to that original game that came out in 2014 that they're still building on with all this battle royale and creation stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just so many people forget about that game because like this fucking battle royale mode is spun out into this insane entity, you know?
Right. Oh, and I had the same problem the year prior with PUBG being nominated for Game of the Year. I was like, it was in early access at that time, and I was like, this is early access. I'm like, come on, guys, it's not even a completed product. It doesn't, it doesn't have the right to be like, oh well, we got lightning in a bottle on this one aspect right here. So that means it's obviously, as fully well-rounded, as complete as an actual game sent to market under the title of being a full release. I thought that was bad, too.
I gotcha.
I am consistent in my beliefs.
No, I mean, that's fair. I like PUBG a lot less than I like, or Fortnite, or I respect PUBG a lot less, I should say. So I pretty much agree with that. Probably for different reasons, but I definitely agree it should not have been nominated for anything that last year. But
what about you, V2?
Oh, what about like Fortnite or something? Is that
no, about like games that are basically awards that went out, then you're like, I question that.
Oh, that's a good question. Didn't the best vocal performance in a game or something like that, or the best you know what I mean, the best character performance, whatever? Didn't that go to Red Dead Redemption? To the guy that did the one guy? Yeah, I was sitting there going like, look, to be fair, I don't think I played like any of the games that were up for that award, but like I've listened to a lot of the dialogue in Spider-Man, and like Yuri Lowenthal did a bang up job as Spider-Man, like a really good job. I 100% expected him to win that award, without a doubt.
Yeah,
and just to be hit with that, like, all right, I don't want to be a dick, but like it's like, good job doing a great cowboy outlaw voice. You sound like you sound like everybody else that's ever done this role before. I don't really get what was so special about that dude. He looked cool though. I'll admit he looked cool when he came out and he took his award. He looked cool, but I like the way the guy looks. But I was sitting there like Yuri Lowenthal really blew it out. Like, imagine someone coming up to you and saying, "Did you know Spider-Man is also Sasuke?" Like, I don't think anyone would really believe you, but that's the case.
The one thing about him, too, that really stood out that I loved was how he recorded two versions of each line in case he was speaking them while he was flying or while he was walking.
Exactly.
Like, that shit was insane to me.
And you could say that, that's not... You could say that quote-unquote isn't on him. It was like, oh, that was just how he was directed. But it's like, he could have just phoned it in. But he very clearly did not. So Absolutely. It's like, he did a fantastic job. That was probably the one award to me where I was like, really? Is this really how it's going to be? That, I was surprised with the esports player of the year thing that Sonic Fox won that. I don't really care for Sonic Fox, but but to be fair, he did destroy in fighters when the game first came out for a long time. He was like Mr. Dominant in Dragon Ball FighterZ.
And he was he was huge in Evo this year too. I think that's a lot of what got it for him.
This is just going to sound wrong, I guess, to people. They're probably going to call me, like a bigot or a loser or something. But he's just too much of a personality for me, which is it's weird. But he's just too much. There's too much going on with him for me because he brings way too much of a personality to the table. But then again, I'm also a guy that likes boring shit.
I was say we have the opposite opinion there. I think the eccentricity of his personality that it brings out is probably my favorite thing about him, honestly.
I'll say though, I did appreciate just how genuinely he seemed to be like really happy about winning that award, and he just seemed like the normal guy that never expected to ever be in such a position. So I at least appreciated that a lot. He definitely gave off some genuine thoughts and feelings about himself and being in that position. But it's just like I said, I just love boring shit. So and like really really bare bones kind of people. So it all comes from just being in the wrestling business. I really like my guys that are black trunks, black elbow pads, just beat the shit out of people and shut up and do, and not really the personalities and stuff. So that's just how I've always been with everything. You know.
I understand where both of you are coming from there, and I can honestly say this, not where I can honestly look and say I actually fully understand both of y'all there, because his personality is like eccentric. That's fun, especially for a streamer, and so I get that. Like where watching someone play games, that's exactly what you want because it's entertaining. But I can tell you right here and now, I 100% agree with V2 about when he was on stage giving that speech. Not that its content was wrong per se or anything like that. That'd be the last thing I'd want to imply. But like, and I saw a Simpsons meme about it too, which accurately kind of summed up how I felt. It's kind of like, this is about video games. This is for video game awards. This is supposed to be a really big night because this is the first time the industry's really had quality awards. Maybe we shouldn't stand on the stage in a fursuit, and maybe we shouldn't try to politically infuse it just because, like, this is supposed to be the night where we're just here to celebrate great games,
But
And so, like I said, I fully see where both sides of y'all are
at that specific
coming
moment,
from.
they're not celebrating a game; they're celebrating him, and both those things are like a core part of who he is. That's,
right.
It's not like they're celebrating. Oh, look at this game that Sonic Fox played and came to present. It said, no, here's Sonic Fox, the man of the hour. This is the dude that won the award.
I get it. I get what Dark's saying for sure, but I agree with Shin though, because they knew who they were giving the award to, so I'm sure they expected something like that out of him when he came up there. I think I don't care if it's part of Persona. I think the fursuit is fucking ridiculous, but at the same time, I'm kind of amused by it. So it's like, yeah, it's his shtick, and it's kind of funny. So it's like, okay, I get it. I mean, I'm sure he takes it very seriously, but I just found it to be relatively funny. But it's interesting because even like the political thing he did say was also relatively funny. And I'm not one that gets my jollies from seeing anyone's political affiliation attacked, but it's like that was pretty funny because he's not inherently wrong, I'm sure, when it comes to quite a few people from that side of things, but it's like it was just too much for me. It was way too fucking much at once. And it was such a weird time for it to happen, but it's like, yeah, I understand what she's saying. It's like, what were you expecting? What are you expecting?
It's not 100% in my opinion. I said, and I'm not passing any form of judgment off at all.
Right.
Live your life however you want to. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm just humble, Dark Trennow. I'd want people to do the same for me.
Of course.
I just thought it was a strange choice of venue, especially when you're a very large game personality such as Sonic Fox. But regardless, congratulations to him for winning the award. And I think everything he said was, a humor-infused sort of deal. It wasn't intended to provoke anyone or something like that.
Yeah.
And I will always be a firm believer in that.
Like,
even if someone does something you don't particularly like for whatever reason, it's never a good idea to respond in a way that such is frustrating to the person you are, already frustrated with, because it won't really breed anything productive out of it.
Yeah.
I've always been more of a just discuss it on the merits of whatever can be measured in such a way that could best be defined as objective. But that might be, honestly, too distant from a lot of things, so I won't call it a perfect method or anything.
And I think that if there's anything like to take from it, and that was kind of amusing, is just the fact that we had a guy like Sonic Fox on the show saying the stuff that he did, and then like a little while later you had like Reggie Fils-Aimé fucking out there talking about Nintendo. It's such a clash of like I'm not gonna say ideals, but just like personalities and stuff like that to have that happen. It's just it's. It was amusing to me to think that they were on the same show. That's all. It's just funny to think about because you wouldn't necessarily think you'd hear about Nintendo and Smash and Reggie talking about stuff after hearing a guy like him talk, and say some of the stuff he said. So it was amusing to me in that aspect. But speaking of Reggie, now we really went in on the video game awards. I think we hit on a lot of it. I don't know if there's any parting shots you guys want to say, but Reggie does give us the perfect segue with the end of the video game awards into something else. So I don't know if you guys have anything you want to say about the video game awards before we talk a little bit more about the Joker reveal and then go into Super Smash Brothers.
I'm personally ready to move into Smash Bros. If you guys are.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely ready to move into Smash.
Alright, let's talk about some Smash then, guys.
More
so
video
starting
games.
with the most obvious, the Joker reveal. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
It's like we said earlier. Like I said earlier, I've never played any of the games or anything like that. I didn't really care very much. I still don't particularly care too much. I feel like if I went and watched the anime, I might care a little bit more because I think I would be probably more warranted to do that than actually play the game. But it was like I said, it was very interesting to see just how much people cared and how big of a deal it was, because I didn't think it would be that big of a deal, but Jesus Christ, it was a big deal.
And I just want to say real quick, kind of unrelated but related to your thing, if you're going to watch a Persona anime, definitely don't start with 5, because it's the worst by like a pretty significant margin.
I would hope so. Nobody would start with 5. Isn't there like 3 and 4?
Yeah, but they're not like it's kind of like Final Fantasy, where each one is its own isolated story. And I could see some people starting with 5 because Joker's going to be in Smash and stuff, but the 5 anime fucking sucks. That's my little statement. All right.
Rest in peace, Persona 5 anime.
Yep.
Shin just ended you.
It's okay. The game is fantastic.
Yeah, there you go. See, there's a silver lining. But Dark, as you were saying about your thoughts when Joker was revealed. Like, was that what you expected?
I personally
Were you even expecting
haven't.
that?
No, so I was expecting a Smash reveal because everyone had been saying for like weeks there's going to be a Smash reveal. It was the most obvious venue to do a Smash reveal, and especially since it's big now in the industry to talk about DLC before you've released the game, particularly very close to the game's release.
Yeah.
I personally am not, well versed in the world of Shin Megami Tensei or Persona at all, but I get how big of a deal it is to have Joker in the game, and I think it's fantastic. This will sound really strange from an anime podcast, but I will say this. If I had to pick one downside, and this is pretty much the only downside I could think of, because I think it's huge that he's in the game, and I think overall it's going to be a really good thing in the long run. I will say that Smash is a game that is bought in droves by the normies. But to normies right now, you kind of get to like the 4th row on the character select, and you're kind of like, there's a whole lot of anime looking shit from here on.
Everybody from Fire Emblem, you're sitting there like, who are these fucking anime characters?
It's true. Yeah. You're not wrong.
You're like Fire Emblem, ZSS, where Joker, where Palutena, where the hell are these anime people? And some of these from more obscure video games like Kid Icarus. I do wonder, and I only care because I normally couldn't really care that much about the mainstream appeal of some games, because I play a ton of games. Many of them are extremely niche. But I will say in Smash Brothers, a game where it's been historically very important to have the normie appeal, maybe we're getting a little too far into this,
No, I agree. I mean, for one, I'm super happy that Joker's in it. But I do hope that the other 4 aren't going to be just all teenage anime boys.
Yeah.
I definitely want... Yeah, I agree. Like, even towards the end there, I love Fire Emblem, I love Persona, I love Xenoblade. I love all the franchises these anime characters are getting pulled from. But I am hoping the next couple are more cartoony, like maybe... God only knows, hopefully Banjo, but even like a Kirby character or another Donkey Kong character or something.
I'm fully expecting Banjo, by the way.
Same. I'm going to be so sad if he doesn't make the cut.
He's going to be an Echo Fighter for Duck Hunt Dog.
Oh boy, don't come to the server on that day if that happens.
Yeah, CP man, don't come to the server tomorrow.
We'll be banning people on site.
I'm almost surprised that wasn't what happened, because in the back of my head I was sitting there going like, they're gonna fuck with everybody, and Banjo-Kazooie is gonna be fucking... It's gonna be an Echo Fighter for Duck Hunt Dog, and everyone's gonna lose their shit.
Man.
Oh man.
Not even that. It's just an alt skin for Duck.
Yeah, it's like Olimar and fucking Alf, whatever his name is. God. Oh, that would have been great. But no, I do sincerely believe the two of them are gonna be DLC. So
I'm hoping, absolutely.
But you know what? I do also kind of think that, and it makes me angry as time goes on to think this way. But like the more time passes, the more I'm like, yeah, they might put some sort of Undertale character in Smash. They may actually put Sans in that in Smash.
No, they're not.
I hear Karko's voice shouting
Sans
Undertale.
It's bothering me. It's bothering the hell out of me because I definitely don't want it. I don't like Undertale at all. I don't want it. But something tells me that last freaking trailer is gonna be Waluigi's trophy running the fuck around. Everyone's gonna be like, oh yeah, and then suddenly the screen's gonna go black and you're just gonna hear. It's just gonna say, "Oh, if you wanted Waluigi, you're gonna have a bad time."
You know what? You just changed my mind. I hope he gets in there.
Oh, come on! No, that was totally unintentional. Fuck.
You just did it. You sold me on him.
You keep killing the DLC, V2. You keep killing the DLC.
No. But just I would not be stunned if at all. And then just you get one last meme of freaking of Sakurai going, never ask me for anything ever again.
Yes.
Except it's gonna be like he's gonna have the blue eye, the blue flame eye, and it's gonna be in the text box. And it's just gonna God help us that doesn't happen.
No, please let that happen. Yeah, I've never flipped on an issue so fast in my life.
Oh no. God. And they're gonna put everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, they're gonna put the entire Undertale soundtrack in the game with the stage. Everyone's gonna pick Megalovania every time you fucking play a game. Other stages are gonna start having it. You're gonna go into like an online quick battle or an arena or some shit. You're just gonna just every fucking time. You're gonna be playing in Green Hill Zone and you're just gonna hear that. Even better is if they replaced all the vocals in every song in the game. Like you're playing Escape from the City. Like you're just gonna hear that. Like oh my god, this is the worst thing I could have said.
Please, dear God. Who do I have to pay to make this happen?
Probably Toby Fox and Sakurai. Give them both equal amounts of money, and then they might try to do something together.
Deal. I will make this happen.
But anyway, I guess we just talked a little bit about the DLC, but Dark, is there anybody you want to really see be DLC in Smash?
Yes, I want to see Doom Guy be a DLC character. And there's actually reasoning for this. He'd be a welcome addition. A realistic art style, so he sticks out, but he's still very iconic because of the original Doom being so old. Doom 2016 has now put a lot of resurgent popularity into the franchise. Todd Howard was seen leaving Sakurai's game studio, Sora. On top of that, Pete Hines slipped up in an interview and said, Bethesda has been approached about Smash Brothers. Now, this could mean one of three things. We get some sort of new Skyrim representation, either in Smash or some other.
Yeah, they're gonna put that Dovahkiin
some other way to shill Skyrim, and we're just all screwed.
No, there's gonna Skyrim is gonna be put inside of Smash. Like the actual game itself will be in the coding, and if you like do something properly, you unlock the full game to play.
I'd love it.
And the only thing that's different is like you could find Mario's hat in the game somewhere and you can wear it.
The fifth DLC character is the TV that appears on the screen and plays the entirety of Skyrim in front of you.
I can believe it at this point. It's got released 10,005 now.
But I own every one of them like a fucking moron.
Yeah,
so he slipped up in an interview.
Pay for Todd Howard's nice vacation shit.
Yep.
So if Bethesda, if that does happen, so you really think that there's a chance, Dark?
There's a chance. I'm not gonna call it guaranteed, but I mean, like, Nintendo has wanted to make it known that the Switch has mature games on it. What better way to promote that than Smash Brothers?
Yeah.
I mean, heck, come on, the friggin' Belmonts are in the game, and they beat the crap out of all sorts of monsters with whips and axes and whatnot.
Bayonetta too, honestly,
Yeah, Bayonetta, another one. Even Metroid has always been a mature franchise.
Dude,
so I'm kind of like, why
Solid
not
Snake is in the game. Snake is in the game.
That is true, yeah.
Let's if there's going to be anything mature, there's a guy from Metal Gear there. Like, jeez.
Yep. No,
yeah, like if Snake can blow someone up with an RPG, we can see Doom Guy rip Mario in half. It's not impossible.
You know what? To tell you the truth, though, I'm gonna drop something right here on the podcast. Okay, all right. Forget all you know about what I just said about Sans and all that bullshit. Okay. Now that we have Joker coming to the game, and obviously Persona 5 is not on the Switch at all.
Mm-hmm.
that means there's a good chance we're going to get maybe some characters that have, never been on the Switch or on Nintendo games at all.
So,
It's not consoles at all. So I'm telling you right now, real talk, I would not be at all surprised if maybe like the final or the second to final trailer, the reveal, Sora from Kingdom Hearts is in this game.
Well,
I'm serious to you.
he's been on several Nintendo consoles too.
Well, yeah, with Game Boy Advance and stuff like that. But I was talking. I guess really I should have just kept it to the Switch. But just games that obviously are not available to play on the Switch and whatnot. Characters from those games. I'm telling you, Sora from Kingdom Hearts. I think there's an even better chance for him to be one of their last big DLC characters.
I could see that, like lining up his reveal trailer, maybe be alongside the Kingdom Hearts 3 launch or something.
Yeah, and you know what?
Yeah.
And if they can work with Disney too to get some Disney related shit in that game, that would be absolutely insane.
It'd be
That would be
crazy, and I
insane.
love it. But that
They'd
would
have
be
to. They would definitely need to work with Square Enix and shit like that. But I would. I'm not going to call it impossible at this point because Nintendo's done some insane shit.
Yeah, if anyone was going to do it, it would be Nintendo. And I mean, they've reached agreements with Disney in the past with games like Epic Mickey and things like that.
Yeah.
But
I'm not closing the door on that. It seems like it's something that could very well happen now, especially now that they're showing us, characters from off the system coming in.
I
So,
could see Sora.
it's
I
very
could
possible.
see it, potentially.
And you put some assist trophies like Goofy and Donald and whatnot, and rocks and stuff like that.
Yeah. No,
I could totally see it.
If we're talking third-party people, I definitely think behind Banjo, Sora would be by far the most likely.
So don't be too surprised, everybody listening out there. CP Man told you, okay? Don't listen to shit. CP Man told you. All right, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, but how have you guys been enjoying the game though?
Well, I love it.
Like since its
love it.
release, it's been out what like a week now.
Exactly
it's been
a week.
a good
Yep,
time.
as of this recording.
An
We got a
absolute
lot of
fantastic time.
snow that it prevented me from being able to go to work just because I drive a small car and it would have been stuck on release weekend. Which is
Snowing in
perfectly
Texas,
fine with
everybody.
me because straight up I just played Smash all weekend and I have not stopped playing Smash since then. I just keep playing a couple hours,
Yeah, I mean-
at least a couple hours, but often much more every day.
Sounds about right.
Who is your guys' mains, would you say, in the game?
Ridley, Dark Samus.
Interesting.
I really don't have a main right
You're
now.
still experimenting.
I'm playing a couple characters. I've been playing Donkey Kong, who I've never played in any previous Smashes before, but I don't know why he's just been feeling really good.
No, they
Donkey
definitely
Kong.
did something with him because he does feel a lot better.
Yeah, it's weird. Yoshi, Captain Falcon, who I played in Smash 4 very often, Little Mac, who I also played very often in Ganondorf. Those have been like the big five that I've been playing a lot of. I've been, after making fun of him in all of his previous appearances in Smash, I've been playing Rob, and I've actually been enjoying playing with
I
him.
love Rob. He's my
Yeah,
buddy.
it's pretty good. But yeah, like I just don't have a main right now. I'm gonna guess come a couple months, like a month or two from now, I feel like Donkey Kong might end up being the character I play the most. But as of right now, I'm not committing to anybody.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's reasonable.
It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun characters to play. It's been a good time. The game in and of itself is a good freaking time.
Yes, absolutely. I love that they brought back the story mode in essence.
Yeah, that I've been playing. I just started really playing it the past day or two, and it's very repetitive. But it's like, what the fuck was I expecting? So I'm just telling myself to shut up and just enjoy it.
Absolutely. And yeah, and like some of it, I can see a lot of the repetition with it. But too, like I'll totally geek out at some of the stuff when like all of the Souls fights kind of like reference the history of that soul. So like, or spirit, excuse me. So like for the loot, like Latios and Latias, for instance, they put you on a stage that looks like their first movie, and like just all these little like Easter eggs and stuff just really makes me go all goofy.
There it is.
Speaking of spirits, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a fan of them.
They're different. I would rather have the trophies to collect, but I'm okay with collecting souls or spirits too.
Yeah, like I like them in their mode. I don't really care for the idea of using them in a fight outside of that mode.
Yeah. No way.
I like
just
that they're
seem
there.
kind of useless and less collectible than trophies.
But
Just because, like, I'm sorry, like, no one's gonna play with
Yeah.
spirits. Like, let's be real here, no one's gonna play with them. World of Light, in my opinion, and Joe hates me for this, but Smiling Joe, that is. I found it to just be repetitive as hell. It has this
definitely
strangest
repetitive.
difficulty curve. you know, like where it's brain dead easy, except for like 10 or so fights that are back breaking.
Yeah, there's some fights that have been pretty ridiculous that I've participated in.
Can't even play as all the characters. You have to start with Kirby. You get, shoehorned into these choices early on about what characters you can get. And I'm kind of like, what would have been better? Just letting us either start with any of the original 8, or just letting you pick any dang character you wanted, and you have to unlock the fighters as you adventure through World of Light. And I know that Sakurai didn't particularly like Subspace Emissary, so he's hesitant about doing deep and meaningful single-player content on the scale of, say, Subspace Emissary, and like World of Light is kind of like a bridge between that kind of single-player content, but also something that's not so, intensive to make, so you can focus on the main game, But I am kind of like, World of Light to me just feels very, to me. Like, it's not something I'm in any rush to do. I've played 10 and a half hours of it.
I think that's reasonable. I mean, obviously, I disagree, but I don't have... I mean, what you're saying is logical. It makes sense. It's just a different perspective, which I totally get. Yeah, I can see how people wouldn't like it.
It's not... I don't think it's the best they could have done by any means when it came to putting in like an adventure story mode or whatever. But and it's like I agree with you. It is a very repetitive mode. It can get very repetitive over time. And there are some really weird, hard battles that just kind of come up out of nowhere. Like there's one that I think it's what's the boss from Metal Gear Solid, and like Zero Suit Samus, and like the ground is poison.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Samus's defense goes up. I can't beat that, no matter really what I do. To be fair, I don't have a lot of characters. I only really have Donkey Kong and Captain Falcon, and then I try to put in Marth, but
for some of them too, you're not supposed to like beat them right away. Like there's some fights that there are specific spirits you can get from other parts of the map that will make that fight like 1,000 times easier.
I got like some Fire Emblem character made me impervious to poison, so I knew I need to get that. It was still really hard. Seriously, Samus, I'm just not a good matchup against her. I remember it. At all.
That one.
But
yeah. Like,
but it's been a lot of fun. Like I really enjoy collecting and training those souls, just because, or spirits, whatever the fuck it is. I don't remember. Shin sent souls once, and now I don't know what the hell to say.
It's spirits.
Spirits. The Dark Souls of Smash Adventure.
But like right now, like I got the Mother Brain from Metroid, and I trained it up. And then I got it to level 99, and it turned into like the second stage of it. And I was like, "Oh, this is so cool!" And I got Pikachu because I have Pokemon Let's Go, and I got the Pikachu spirit, and I was able to put that in there. And now I start every fight like giant, and as long as I don't have any damage, I hit really hard. So it's like it's cool. It's got some cool stuff. Now, of course, I can't always use them because, like when I do that fight with the Zero Suit Samus that we were just talking about, like I have to put on. I use Zero from Mega Man. And I have like an evolved form of him, and so I put that with the Fire Emblem character because there's 2 slots for him, and that I have to use. And I use Marth because it boosts, swordsman, and it's like it's really cool to have to formulate what you got to do and what you're gonna do, and make the teams with the spirits and all that. But I get Dark's problem. I completely understand, and I agree with him on actually quite a few points. It's just I'm not really letting it stop me, I guess, at all.
Yeah, no, there have been a few parts where like it has gotten repetitive, and it has been a little exhausting.
Yeah, like I could play that, but I don't want to play it for super duper long.
No, I never play for more than like an hour or two, even. I'd say a long session before I bounce to like Katamari or Grease or one of the other new games that came out.
Yeah, like I have a baseball game on Steam, Out of the Park Baseball 19, and I've actually played that a lot the past couple days, and not as much Smash. But I'm gonna get back into Smash, playing it more this week, doing it every day and everything. Yeah. But yeah, outside of that, I've had a good time playing online in Smash. I had a lot of fun unlocking characters. And it's been a good time. It's definitely a game that I think is going to be in the discussion next year for one of the best games released.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I hope it doesn't get forgotten, honestly, because of how early it is.
I think a game like Smash can stand that test of time leading into next year.
Yeah,
if there's going to be any game that's going to do it, it would be
Smash. Sakurai even said. Now, granted, Sakurai has said a lot of stuff after the release of a Smash Brothers game, so don't hold your breath here. But he said, I could see making a sequel to Ultimate in a decade or so.
Yeah, see, and I think this
So
game...
we might
I think
have this be our only Smash game for 10 years.
This game has the longevity to survive for like a decade.
No,
so
honestly, I don't even know where I would say they go from here.
Yeah,
you know?
people still play
Like-
Melee, so I don't think there's much of a problem in thinking that Ultimate could go on for 10 years.
Plus, just like, if you make the next game after Ultimate, what do you even do? Like, you'd have to, like... I can't even imagine topping this. I mean, unless they pulled out, like, 20 new characters.
Yeah, exactly.
There'd be no real reason
And I don't see them bringing everybody back again, so you'd be losing a lot of people.
I don't know. I'm torn on that one.
Because they're going to have to... There's a lot of rights they're going to have to get. Who knows where all those rights will be.
I'm surprised they were able to get Snakes back, to be honest. I figured Konami would not be willing to play ball on that, considering Sakurai and Kojima are so close.
Ball. You know, when
Yeah,
you think
it's
about
true.
it,
Yeah,
the
with the
sheer amount of
Castlevania as
stages,
well.
music, Castlevania, and Snake, I was like, Castlevania was like, sure, Sakurai, take the
Yeah.
IPs.
It's
Square
definitely
Enix is the one who screwed us.
it's definitely surprising, given Konami's kind of recent philosophy on a lot of their properties. I was very happy to see it. And it almost makes me hopeful that we will see kind of more meaningful content come out of like Castlevania in the future from them.
You know, it really makes things... It makes things very interesting. It's funny how Smash can light that up. Like, oh, maybe there'll be more Castlevania just because, you know, Simon and Richter were used in Smash. It's interesting just how that works.
Yep. Well, yeah. It's, you know... I mean, at the end of the day, Smash was the game that revitalized Kid Icarus temporarily.
Yeah,
you
exactly. That got a new game, you could say, thanks to Smash.
Yeah,
you know?
It really did.
But yeah, you know, so that's Super Smash Brothers. So you know, we're coming up on about 51 minutes of recording, gentlemen. Mm-hmm. So, is there anything else you'd like to say with Smash before we wrap things up?
I think I got pretty much everything on my mind out about it. You know, just
King
that it's
K. Rool's
fantastic.
kinda OP.
What was that?
King K. Rool's kind of OP.
Yes, he is, and I love it. It's fantastic.
He's so much fun.
Like, I'm just saying,
great.
like, I played him a little bit. Not King K. Rool. I'm talking about somebody else. I played him a little bit, but Chrom is like stupid. He's got like everything of every other Fire Emblem character put together.
I heard Chrom and Roy were both really broken Fire Emblem characters. Like, they're both great.
It's like if you take everything that's broken about Roy, but then give him like one move from every other, like Ike and Lucina and all that, and it's like suddenly you have a very broken swordsman, and I hate fighting swordsmen. So Chrom is not a fun matchup. Like Chrom, Zelda, Young Link, I hate fighting all of them. It just gets ridiculous.
Yes.
I'm telling you. But yeah, so there you go, Dark. We had a very good podcast where we talked a lot about video games, and I was on it. Isn't that crazy?
It is. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Now if only we could do a full podcast where Dark has like 5 different people to talk to him about Darling in the Franxx. Then there you go.
That'll be like our apex episode. We
Oh
won't be able
yeah,
to surpass
the
that.
magnum opus, the Darling in the Franxx episode with 5 other people, the biggest podcast of all time. But yeah, I guess I mean I've said all I have to say about Smash. Other than, you know, it's a great game, and if you guys ever want to play, you should totally come and join the Toradora Discord server by checking out the subreddit, the r/Toradora, as Shin would tell you. And look for the link for the Discord, because a lot of us have the game. A lot of us have it, and a lot of us have played together so far. And it would be absolutely great to have more people come play with us. So you most certainly should check that out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we keep playing we play almost every day in the server together.
Oh yeah. No, honestly,
we
the
always
Toradora
welcome new
content
people.
of our server is really the secondary focus. It's all about the Smash Bros.
It goes. The hierarchy goes Smash, Toradora, Chinibio, Bunny Girl Senpai, every other anime in existence. That's pretty much how it is right now.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'd throw Elder Scrolls Online in there somewhere because someone needs to play with me. Please, I'm so fucking lonely.
All right, well,
But-
Dark, I guess that's it.
Yeah, well, hey, as always, to our amazing listeners, we love you. Thank you so much for watching, listening. It's a podcast, same deal. Whatever. Hope you guys enjoy it. Please, be sure to comment on videos, give us likes. That way, we know what's up. Make sure we're doing a good job by you guys, and we can keep pushing out quality content for you guys. We love doing this. Thank you guys so much. Anything you guys want to say before we sign out?
Nope, you covered everything. It's been great being here again, guys.
Yeah, thank
and
you so much for being on, guys.
Yeah, and stay tuned, because you just might get some more Shin and CP Man in the morning. So just, just stay tuned. That's all I'm saying.
What will we order next?
Yeah, right? Will the staff at the diner actually do their jobs properly?
Probably not. Let's be
You're
real.
right.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
See ya.